Welcome to Muletown Speed. I'm Brian and you're watching an engine showcase video. This engine is for sale and we make a video like this for every engine that we sell so that you can get an in-depth look at your engine and watch it run before you buy it. Although we don't rebuild or remanufacture engines, our process of cleaning, inspecting, testing, and fixing if necessary gives you the confidence that your used engine is going to run great in your project. It'll also protect you from spending big bucks on a crate motor or risking your time and treasure on a junkyard mystery motor. Alright, this engine that's for sale today is stock number 353008. It is a 2001 LM7 5.3 liter. It's a Gen 3 iron block drive-by cable with an 862 head out of like a 2001 Silverado. 180,000 miles on this one, 411 PCM. So this is about as simple as it gets with the drive-by cable. There's no VVT, there's no active fuel management that you get on some of the later years stuff. Let's see. The engine is coming. The engine is being sold as a level 3 engine, and for all the info on exactly what comes with a level 3 engine, go to muletownspeed.com. There is a page there that explains what each level includes, but just for a quick rundown, you're going to get all of the front accessories and belt. You're going to get the factory fuse block, the factory wiring harness, and this wiring harness is set up for a non-electric auto or a manual transmission. So the plugs for a 4L60, 4L80 are not there, but a bunch of people want to go to a Turbo 350 or, a T56, something like that. This harness would work well for that. The engine itself can be made to work behind pretty much any GM vehicle, or any GM transmission rather, but this specific harness is set up for non-electric auto or manual. So just keep that in mind. But it comes with the fuse block, it comes with the harness, it comes with the PCM programmed to your specifications. And starter, and as much stuff as we can give you to get you going on your project. That's what it comes with. But again, muletownspeed.com, engine levels explained page is where you want to go for that. Let's get to testing this. Alright, this is going to be a test run of 353008. This is a 5.3 with a 411 PCM, and then what we did is there was some noise coming from the bottom end, so we installed a new crank, actually a remanufactured crankshaft. So it's a 10 under, so it came with all new bearings and stuff. We installed new cam bearings, new oil pump, head gaskets, the multi-layer steel head gaskets, not the fiber single layer ones. LS7 lifters, water pump. Is a new water pump on there? Yeah, it is. New water pump on there. And let's see, odds and ends stuff, oil filter, spark plugs, manifold gasket, inlet air temp sensor. We did do the the front O2 sensors. The rear O2s have been deleted in the wiring harness and in the software, but we have the front O2s, our new Bosch, I think. Bosch units there, and then the rear main seal we changed out along with the gasket for that cover back there because that was leaking. But this thing runs great, as you'll see, and I'm gonna fire it up right now. So we'll get our HP tuners started here. All right, hit our fuel pump. Here we go. So 104 degrees, so I ran it earlier this morning, so it's cooled off quite a bit though. 73 degrees air inlet temp. We're charging at 13.9 volts. You can see 40 psi of oil pressure, and then that's just my fuel pressure gauge, just to make sure that when we're diagnosing things that I know that I've got fuel pressure there. So So with all the new bearings and new lifters, this thing runs awesome. I did also clean and flow the injectors so that we know that they're running the same or close to the same flow rate, which is good because a couple of them were clogged. But no leaking, none of that. Nice and quiet. You can see new water pump there. Here's our air inlet temp sensor. So we plug one of these into every engine that we sell. Normally this information would be gathered from the mass airflow sensor, which is just another piece to have to plumb into the system. So it makes it a whole lot easier to go to a speed density tune, which we've done, and then just run a single inlet air temp sensor for the computer there. EGR has been blocked off there, that's good. And then I swapped to a manifold that does not have EGR port cast in it. Most people don't use the factory manifolds anyway, but I like to give them that option. So, where are we at here? We're at 140 degrees. Just wanted to show you oil pressure is just a hair under 40. Looking great. That new oil pump in there. And you can see right here are the O2 sensors. You can see how they're switching up and down and up and down. So we know that those new O2 sensors are doing what they're supposed to do right there. So that's good. We've got good vacuum. Like right around 30. KPA is very, very average for what I see at idle. It's a 700 RPM idle. Again, we're charging around 14 volts. No smoke or anything. It's just runs great. None of that bad white stuff. So we're at 160 now. Everything's doing its thing. Temperature. So you can see here mass airflow sensor is at 0 because it's not reading anything right now because we've turned that off. Let's see. Photo position. You can see we've got a closed loop, a normal deal for our fuel system. That means our O2 sensors are doing what they're doing and they're giving feedback to the computer and allowing the computer to make subtle changes here to correct for any imbalances. Let's see here. Look and see if there's any codes, and there usually is a few. So you've got your mass air codes, and those show up in this program, but they are programmed so that they're not going to indicate a malfunction indicator lamp. So your dummy lamp isn't going to turn on for these, but these are pretty standard. So nothing major there. It sounds great. It idles nice and smooth. This is going to be great in a hot rod. Every one of these I want to keep for myself after I get done with them, and this is no different. So still right around 35. You can see that it's kind of hard to focus in on that deal, but 35 psi, 76 degrees. I don't know how much more you want to see, but that's good. Oh, I should put the cap on, huh? There we go. Super duper. So let's see, almost at 180 degrees, so we're pretty well warmed up. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this so you guys can hear me. But so on a level 3 engine, it's going to come with as much as we can give you to make the swap go smoothly. So basically what you'll end up with is your PCM, which will be programmed to your specifications, is part of this harness, and so is a fuse block set up with fuses that you need to make it run. So basically you need to supply a key switch power wire to the back side of that fuse block in order to make it light up and power everything up, and then you need a main power wire here coming from your battery. That's just like a constant battery. So you've got one key switch wire, you got this cable here for constant battery, and that's all you're going to need for electronics. Your fuel side, you need a connection here for supply, a connection here for a return. And what most people do, well, not most people, let's say, but a lot of people do, just to get you started, is go to the junkyard and get yourself a chunk of the factory fuel line, cut it, splice it with whatever you've got, because these just are a quick connect right onto there. So that's what we've done here just for this setup. But that's horsepower limited, right? So if you're going to be running tons of horsepower, you need lots of fuel, you need to keep that in mind. But to get you going, those work really well. So you will need a fuel pump capable of supplying 60 psi, and you will need exhaust pipes, either headers, which most people swap to headers that have O2 bungs in them. If you're going to do that, I would at least put in one more for a wideband sensor that will allow you to tune under wide open throttle, which is important. So these engines come factory configured, except what is needed to change to get it to run in, in a swap vehicle. It's not necessarily tuned for high horsepower. So, but they get there. So anyway, it's kind of a quick rundown. This is a drive-by cable, so there's no pedal or anything to worry about. And I'm trying to think, that might be it. Am I just rambling? It might be rambling. So all the accessories here, you got an alternator, power steering pump. Those both seem to function fine. Power steering is just looped for testing here, but doesn't make any noise that I can hear. And then the water pump is new, so I'm not worried about that. You can do air conditioning if you wanted to put a factory compressor on here. I have brackets that can mount right here for a factory Silverado compressor, if you wanted to do that. So I think this one doesn't have the wires for it in the harness, but it's easy enough just to wire in for the clutch on that. I think we'll call it here, guys. If you're interested in this one, let us know. So I hope you liked what you saw there in the run video. If you're interested in this motor, our contact info is all on the right side of the screen here. Let us know the stock number of the engine that you're referring to when you call us, email us, whatever. That way we're all on the same page. We are located in Columbia, Tennessee, and that is about an hour south of Nashville, about an hour north of Huntsville. So for shipping, we can ship all over the country to to a dock of your choice for a fee, and we can also deliver the engine to you for a fee, just on our shop truck here, and get you taken care of that way. Or you can come pick it up here in Middle Tennessee. It's all up to you what you want to do. And all of this info, as well as other engines that we have available, and our new PCM programming services, is on our website, muletownspeed.com. That's kind of our hub. So if you have questions, go there and hit us up and let us know if you want this one. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you.